The following upload is intended for reaction purposes only. All rights are reserved for the initial copyright owner. The full reaction to this video is available on my Patreon in the description below. Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching House of the Dragon. This is episode 9 of the first season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the series so far. And if you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available free in the description below. Just put that password in and enjoy. So last episode, it was called Lord of the Tides, and we did learn early on in the episode that Lord Corlys has possibly died. It's not confirmed, so it's a question mark, but we did learn that in battle he managed to get stabbed and then he was knocked overboard, I believe they said, and they'd not been able to retrieve his body. So even though that's sad for everybody, they have to start thinking what's going to happen now. You know what I mean? They have to put plans in place. Who's going to take over Driftmark? Now, his bloodline, Vermund, he said that it should be mine. He went over to Rhaenys and he said that I'm going to state my claim to take Driftmark. It's been in my family for years and I'm not going to let it go to some bastard. That's pretty much what he was saying over to Rhaenyra's side when they are nothing to do with this family. And obviously, you know, they don't control our family legacy. Now, obviously, Rhaenyra said that Lord Corlys has already made a decision and, you know, if you're going to have to challenge it, you're going to have to go to, obviously, King's Landing. You're going to have to stake a claim in front of the king, which was interesting because we found out the king was in a bad way, mate. When it went to, you know, his bed, he was literally dying. His face was, half of it was bandaged up. He could hardly breathe. We seen that it was Alicent and Sir Otto that was actually running King's Landing right now. They are fully in control. When Rhaenyra actually turned up, because she did find out that obviously her son's claim, stake to the throne, or whatever you would call it, Driftmark, was being challenged, she had to go and plead her case. When he was there, he was speaking to him and he was saying that obviously it's Alicent and Otto that deal with all of this proceedings now, and Rhaenyra was even passing comments that the whole kingdom looks totally different. It looks like somebody else is running it. It's unrecognizable, and we even had their house symbols around it, the high towers, so they're not messing about in you know, like taking over. Now, very interestingly, you know, we did start to have this proceedings. Sir Otto listened to Vermund's case, and obviously he was saying that they shouldn't, you know, like take over Driftmark. It should be mine. I'm the true bloodline. And you know, as Rhaenyra was about to stake, you know, her plea, boom, mate, Viserys actually come in. He decided that today, because all his family was there, that he was going to listen to the proceedings and he was going to make judgment himself. And he actually decided that it's just going to stay however it's going to stay. You know, Lord Corlys made his decision. He wanted Rhaenyra's kids to be obviously the people that took over Driftmark, and you know, Vermund was not happy with that. He was literally fuming. He stood up, he was arguing, he was saying that the king, he's not going to decide the fate of his family. You know, he turned around and he called Rhaenyra and obviously her children bastards in front of everybody, and I knew, mate, it was game over for him. It only took a few seconds before Daemon come in and swung his sword and chopped his head off, literally right in half. And you know, no messing around, literally no messing around. The king decided later on in the night he wanted to have a meal with the full family. You know, it seems that everybody was together all at once, and it's not been that for a long time. And there we actually seen Aemond, you know, the one who had his eye cut earlier on in the season. He's older now. He looks so strong. He looks like a proper warrior in a battle, you know, like a proper soldier ready for battle. He's got like an eye patch on. He looks scary. He's intimidating. You know, the king done a speech how he wants all the family to be united and together. Do you know what I mean? They're all like so close, but they're also far away, and he wants them obviously to come you know, together as one. Now, later on in the episode, he actually did pass away, so it's the first time that we've seen the king pretty much gone now, going into today's episode. But in his dying wish or dying speech, he did say to Alicent that, if I heard it correctly, that the Song of Fire and Ice is saying that Prince Aegon, yeah, should be the person that takes over the throne, not Rhaenyra. I don't know if I took that right, but I believe that's what happened. So it's going to be interesting because Alicent said, I understand what I need to do. It's going to be a mad final few episodes. Hopefully you guys enjoy today's. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode. Claire, this episode should be Rhaenyra's, you know, crowning, or maybe the final one. I reckon that Alicent's going to stake a claim for it not to happen. Reckon he's just whispered the king's died? Oh, she looks like the person from...
Stay here.
What?
Tell no one. I saw him last night. He told me he wished for Aegon to be king.
He did say that. That's what he did say. It was muffled.
The king is dead. We grieve for Viserys the Peaceful, but he has left us a gift. With his last breath, he impressed upon the queen his final wish, that his son, Aegon, should succeed him as Lord of the Seven Kingdoms.
The treasury is well in hand. The gold will be divided for safekeeping.
I understand that members of the small council have been planning secretly to install my son without me.
Hundreds of lords and landed knights swore fealty to the
That was
princess.
some 20 years ago.
The king changed his mind.
The king was well last night. Which of you here can swear that he died of his own accord? Fear not. I will have no part.
Oh, he's just killed him.
Daughter Rhaenyra, she'll never bend the knee. Nor will Daemon, which you know.
A living challenger invites battle.
It is unsavory, yes. But a sacrifice we must make to secure Aegon's succession. Wouldn't wish for any
But the king did
unsavory...
not wish for the murder of his daughter.
I am Lord Commander of the King's Guard. I recognize no authority but the king's. And until there is one, I have no place here.
Before we go into that, right, the fairest way to do it would be a vote. Do you know what I mean? Like, currently, we got something going on in the UK where we had Boris Johnson as the Prime Minister, and then he got voted out from his own party, and then they got Liz Truss in, and then the party wanted to vote her out, and now they want to get Boris Johnson back. And it's like, okay, regardless of whether you support them or not, this change is a load of, like, it's iffy. It is iffy, mate. And it is like, to me, you should just let the public decide. Do you know what I mean? Instead of making in-house decisions, you wanted him, then you didn't want him, and then you wanted him again. Just let the public decide. Do they want him or do they not? Fair and simple. It's just like here. It's like, regardless of what party you choose, if you pick him or not, if the king did say that he wanted, obviously, his son to be, like, the next king, then that's fair play. Now, obviously, it's hearsay, because it is. Only she heard it. But I've got to say, I dislike Alison, but I'd liked what she done there. She didn't just sit down and just accept, yes, my son's going to be in charge, and I'm going to kill Rhaenyra, and we're going to get rid of them. No, she actually was concerned. He wouldn't want his daughter to be killed, do you know what I mean? I do like what just went on, and I think the fairest way would be, look, I'll make a public speech and say the king's died. Yes, 20 years ago we did stake Rhaenyra as next in line to the throne, but on his dying deathbed he actually told me that he wanted, obviously, his firstborn son. Now, I'm not saying that he should take it. What I'm saying is, because those words were spoken, that I'm going to let the public decide. So you've got two choices, just like when Viserys took the throne from, obviously, Rhaenys. There's a choice. Do you want the female? Do you want the male? You know, public, you have your goal. And that's how it should go. That's what I think, in my opinion.
Where is Aegon?
Not here.
Your father.
There is a beast beneath the boards.
Oh, my dearest love.
Where's the prince?
He exploits his authority to order me away, and then he evades me, my lord.
You can't be mad at him for that, can you? Can you go and get me something? Yes, my lord. Come back, he's not here.
And remove your white cloaks.
This is because they know that information, you reckon?
God!
Prince Aegon's not to be found within the castle walls, Your Grace. Your father has sent Sir Eric into the city to find him.
Aegon must be found, and he must be brought to me. The very fate of the Seven Kingdoms depends on it.
I'll come with you. Cole needs me, Mother.
Sometime last night we misplaced our drinking companion.
You see, the man we seek is the young Prince Aegon.
The prince is not here.
Has he been here?
Years ago, in fact.
But more recently?
He does not frequent the Street of Silk. I wish you luck, good sir. And my best to your friend.
You once swore your banners to Rhaenyra. You must now pledge them to the future king.
I must confer first with my house on this matter.
You'll not leave this room without declaring your intention.
Come on, stay stood up. Might die, though.
Still keeps its sworn oath to the princess.
Long live the king.
He likes Rhaenyra, him. He likes Rhaenyra. He said that, you know, when she come last time. It was good to see her. See, again, this is where it's a false agenda, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They've made the decision, you don't like it, you're getting killed. But also, the interesting thing is, yeah, if I sent somebody, one of my servants, one of my family members, whatever it was, guards, to the King's Landing, and he never returned, I would assume that he was kidnapped and killed, and I would go there seeking revenge. You know what I mean? Like, they're not just going to disappear and everyone's going to go, oh, where's he gone? I'd be like, what's happened? Send them, let's see, and investigate. And like I said, mate, you know, fair trial would be, let the public know that obviously Prince Aegon was, you know, like, proclaimed as being the next in line by the king on his death wish. But obviously you've all pledged your allegiance to Rhaenyra. So what do you want to do? You got this two information. You know, it's your choice now. You can make it again here in the present before we do the crowning. What's going on? Oh, whoa. Little kids fighting.
Prince Aegon spends many a night in this place. Do you see now what he is? You've not seen everything.
Was that just saying that's one of Prince Aegon's kids? Oh, that's mad.
We can't find him, Cole. We are decent men with no taste for depravity. His secrets are his own. He's welcome to them. I'm next in line to the throne. Should they come looking for me, I intend to be found.
He knows where he is.
I can take you to Prince Aegon. Rather, I'm sent by one who knows where he is. I'll tell you, for a price.
He was fleeing from the gate. A warning for the princess, I'd wager.
Let the king's justice take him. You've spent many hours with the queen of late.
There's no reason those hours cannot in the end benefit you.
I've never seen somebody seek power more than that guy, man. It's so obvious since episode 1.
I will do you the considerable courtesy of assuming there is a good reason for the outrage of my treatment here this morning.
My sincerest regrets for the lack of ceremony.
The king. It is your husband who grasps so heedlessly for the throne. 6 long years to fight a desperate battle, returning grievously, if not mortally wounded. You, more than any soul alive, understand what I say now. Please, I loved my husband, but I will speak the truth we both know. You should have been queen. Rule. But we may guide the men that do. Gently, away from violence and sure destruction, and instead toward peace. You desire not to be free, but to make a window in the wall of your prison. Have you never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne?
Obviously she has, but how would she stake a claim? She's not bloodline. Okay, so that was interesting because Rhaenys obviously was offered by Rhaenyra last episode to join their families together, which would ensure obviously both families would stay in power. You know, they would actually have bloodline, you know, relatives on the throne at one point, and Driftmark would still be in their hands. So she offered a good proposal. Now obviously Alicent's coming in, she's trying to throw a spanner in the works, offering her something different. She was saying that, you know, you should have been the queen, not Viserys, you know, as the king. And although we may not ever sit on the throne ourselves, we should be guiding the people, you know, the men, and we can always like be working and helping. Now, again, I can't remember if in Game of Thrones, if Daenerys was like trying to be the first ever female queen, you know what I mean? I can't remember if obviously they were saying that. Basically, I'd be disappointed if Daenerys doesn't actually get a shot at being it. You know, they just already overthrow her like this, and they just give it to Prince Aegon. Like, I actually feel like it'd be good to see the transition over, but if not, I think it'd be good to see the battle and the fight, and, you know, try to stake your claim. So like Daemon and her going after Alicent and Otto and everybody else like that, even Aegon, and even go after Aemond as well. You know, just like as long as some sort of rivalry happens, because right now it's more been, I don't know, about family, just building and who should be, like the whole season's kind of been like building like who should be next in line. But I'd actually like to see a rivalry commence, because obviously in Game of Thrones you had all the kingdoms, all the families, all the fighting. Here it's just in-house, and it's not really been much feuding. So I would like that, if that, hopefully that makes a bit of sense. Oh yeah, they come up last episode with information, didn't they?
About the mysterious white worm, I take it. Where is Prince Aegon?
I thought the prince is in Flea Bottom when no one is to be trusted. I want an end to the savage use of children in Flea Bottom. When your plots ripen and you install your grandson on the throne, remember, it was me who put him there. I could have killed him as easily as a wasp on fruit.
She didn't offer anything bad there. She just wanted to stop her use of child abuse, pretty much.
I want my mother. Grandfather the Hand will meet you outside the city walls.
Oh.
I do regret this, friend.
It's interesting that it's Alicent against the dad.
Let me go! I have no wish to rule, no taste for duty. I'm not suited.
You get no argument from me.
Well played.
None of this is a game.
And yet you treat it as one. We've relied on one another these many years, and now it is the good of the family.
Our hearts were never one. Rather, I've been a piece that you moved about the board.
If that is true,
That is a
then I
fact.
make you Queen of the Seven Kingdoms.
That's true as well, though.
No king has ever lived that hasn't had to forfeit the lives of a few to protect the many.
Reluctance to murder is not a weakness. My husband would have desired this mercy be shown to his daughter.
Your husband? Or you, his daughter's childhood companion?
My son will take the crown of his namesake, the Conqueror, and carry Blackfire, his sword.
Alicent's done good this episode. You know, like, most of the time she annoys me, and it's always been forced a family agenda, just like him. But the fact that she's opening her eyes and she's seeing it, that she's just been a pawn on the board, that he's just been moving around. Yeah, he did counter it and say, well, if you have been a piece on the board, I moved you and made you queen. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't have seated to that yourself. That is true. You did make a queen. Your board moving put her into this position. But it doesn't make you weak if you don't want to murder somebody. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would make you weak if you was going into war with somebody and you was unwilling to kill the enemy. That's different. But, like, is Rhaenyra the enemy? It is to you because you badly want your family on the throne. But to Alicent, maybe not. You're trying to counter it saying that, yeah, you're only liking her because it's your childhood friend. No, mate. That may be a little bit true. But also, I would not truly believe myself that Viserys would be like, yes, go and kill Rhaenyra so Aegon can take the throne. It would. But I think, you know, Aegon could take the throne but not do any of the royal duties. And I feel like he could just have the name and the title and the appearance, and Alicent could run it from, you know, behind, and she could be the one making the decisions. That could work as well.
As you wish.
I'd be interested to see if he goes to try and kill her, man.
You asked yourself, I wonder how it is that your father, the Hand, found Aegon first. There is a web of spies at work in the Red Keep. Along its threads travels news of all our doings. More than once it has proved advantageous to those willing to feed the weaver. One of the little spiders is your lady-in-waiting. There are more like her. Even I do not know their number.
Guy's a snake, though, man. I feel like he could work with Otto and with Alicent. The guy obsessed with feet or something because he can't use two of them. Checking she knows he's doing that. Absolute freak. See, what I want to know is how everybody's just going to accept that Aegon's taking the throne when obviously everybody declared Rhaenyra as to be next in line. Do you know what I mean? How's everybody just going to accept it?
With me, princess.
Oh, decent. But you never know what decision she's made now. I actually don't know. Oh, look. Oh, yeah, he liked Rhaenyra as well, didn't he?
Have the decency to look grateful. Do you know what has been done to give you this day?
It's not asked, is it? Do you know what? I don't mind him, actually. I actually don't mind him so far. He's unpredictable, so he seems okay.
Your grandfather, the Hand, will try to impress on you that Rhaenyra should be put to the sword. You must reject this counsel.
Do you love me?
Yeah.
You imbecile.
Right, so they've all been sent up for the crowning. What was she smiling at then? The blue skies? The tower?
People of King's Landing, today is the saddest of days. Our beloved king is dead. He whispered his final wish that his firstborn son, Aegon, should succeed him. your great good fortune and privilege to be here to witness this, a new day for our city.
May the warrior give him courage. May the crone lift her shining lamp and light his way to wisdom.
Oh, he doesn't look happy as well, though. It's interesting.
Aegon Targaryen is the true heir to the Iron Throne.
All hail his grace, Aegon, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms and protector of the realm.
I reckon that he might be a banter king, do you know what I mean? He might not take it as serious as you want him to. What the hell, mate? It's red. I always associate red with Daemon. Bernice. Decent. You could burn all of them. You could literally kill them all. I dare you. Say it, Dracarys, mate. Say it. Oh, it's not burned him. They're lucky. Yo, look at that swift little glide through the door. So she's not accepted her offer then. It's well, that's what I would have took from that then. She didn't accept the offer that obviously Alicent provided her. But in one clean swoop, mate, she could have killed all of them. Now, in real life, like real life, then that would be the best play, wouldn't it? Just smoke every single one of them off. Rhaenyra's obviously still in line to the throne. You've got your deal obviously secured with her that you made last episode. But obviously it's a show, and if we took all of them out, wouldn't make any sense, would it? It'd be too many people in one clean sweep. Now, that would have been perfect for, like, I don't know, 5th season. 4th, 5th season of Game of Thrones, you know what I mean? When you've established all these characters, and if you had everybody on the stage and you took out like all of the Lannisters, you know what I mean? That would have been sick. It would have been like, oh my god. Now, we haven't got many people that we can expand. Do you know what I'm saying? This is what I was trying to say earlier. Like, the stories have kind of been within house. Who should be ascending to the throne, and there's not really many branches like you could step outside, so there's not many feuds that are being established that you can obviously fight across. Now, if you looked at Game of Thrones, you had all of the families, you had every single body feuding with all over. You could spend a full episode in one kingdom, then move over to the next one. You know what I mean? You could have a whole episode around Jon Snow and the Night Watch, and then a whole episode around Cersei and Jaime, and then you could go back to Tyrion as well, even though he's with them, and it could be a whole episode on him and everything that he's doing. You move over to Samwell, and do you know what I mean? Like, there was so much going on that you could expand on everybody, and you didn't even have to make people in an episode because you had the world was so big, but it was still easy to follow. Where here we're trying to currently make it, aren't we? So like, we haven't got many characters that we can, like, if you killed all of them, the only other relevant people would be Daemon and Rhaenyra. That is it. We haven't established a bigger, broader character base right now, which I think will be coming obviously in the latter seasons. Once obviously we get this one out the way, we've realised like how popular it's actually kind of been, and obviously we get renewed and we can write more stories and expansions. There though was good, you know. Alicent did come, she tried to kind of like overthrow the offer that Rhaenyra gave her last episode, and obviously she's not accepted it. Smashed it, mate. She's come up. Now, I actually thought Prince Aegon, now King Aegon, looked pretty good, to be honest. I liked how he was walking through the swords and then he was all dropping them. I thought that looked pretty cool, actually. And the outfit, all black as well, made him look really, like, authoritative. Makes you look like rich, you know, like fit for the part. He looks really smart. You know, usually we seen him drunken and falling over, not got much stuff going on, but here he looks dead formal, he looked good. And like I said, mate, he's picking his sword up and he's throwing it, and I don't know if he's going to be a serious king or not. Do you know what I mean? His character's unpredictable. Like I said, if Aemon was in charge, then I feel like he would be a ruler. You know what I mean? Like, he would be a person that maybe would want to go and attack and try and take over kingdoms and stuff, where this one, I don't really know. But I actually thought Alicent was good this episode. Most of the season, I've not really been a big fan of her. I've got to be honest. I've not really liked her. I always thought that she was using Viserys. And, you know, I always thought that she just wanted the High Towers to be in command. But then when you look at it here, it seems like she's actually really cared for him. She was sad and upset that he died. She was shocked that obviously scheming and conniving was going on behind her back, and she wasn't accepting of stuff that her dad was proposing. So I thought that was a good little turning point for her, and I'm interested to see obviously where we go with her and with him, because it seems like they're got different approaches now on how Aegon would be ruling, and there could be clashes going in, you know, maybe to the final episode or into the future. That's going to wrap up today's episode. So very interesting that obviously the king has died and they have fully gone forward with Prince Aegon being the king. Now obviously Alicent, she actually isn't lying when she was saying that the king actually did desire or say in his final wishes that obviously the prince would be obviously the next king, not Rhaenyra. Now, like I said, mate, whether you're a big fan of Alicent or not, that actually did happen. It was hard to listen to, and he did say it. I was listening, like, in, you know, like, closely in the last episode, and I believe that's what I interpreted. That's what he said, and obviously she's confirmed it here. But it could just be hearsay for everybody else because nobody witnessed it and nobody else heard it. So, like, you know, people who challenge her and say that, you know, she's lying, then they could say that that's treason. Do you know what I mean? That's what they've done. That's what Sir Criston done at the start, and he pushed that guy and he smashed his head against that rock and killed him. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's savage, but it is true. Like, you either take the Queen's word for it or you get done for, you know, pretty much treason for challenging her. Now, again, like I said, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt because he did actually say it. Now, like Aegon was saying to her, though, before, he had 20 years to stake that I was next in line, and he never actually done that. So how am I supposed to believe that on his last dying wish, he said that? And that is, like, how I thought the general public would react. Now, I thought it was interesting because I thought the best way to do it was, like I was saying earlier on in the episode, is to do a vote. We seen it, didn't we, when the show first started? We had Viserys and Rhaenys. They both stood there. They done a vote. Obviously, he got chosen. Then, well, to be honest, when Rhaenyra, I can't remember now. Do you know when Rhaenyra got named? Like, was it? It wasn't out of her and Daemon. I think at the time the king had a choice to either name her or Daemon. They was the only people that could be in the succession. He wasn't married. He didn't have all these kids that he has now currently in this episode. So he chose Rhaenyra. And everybody did plead the allegiance to it. And I do like how, obviously, in today's episode, that somebody was saying here that, you know, we're not oath breakers. We all pledged our oath towards Rhaenyra. So, like, we're not going to change it because you're saying from a whisper that nobody can confirm that Prince Aegon is the actual true desired heir. Do you know what I mean? So, I like how some people are standing up to that. And I was interested to see that more of the public didn't actually react in that way. Now, obviously, Prince Aegon today, he was outside of the castle, and, you know, they've gone in search for him. Now, Alicent has gone looking for him, but also Sir Otto has, and they both got different intentions. Otto was like, mate, when you get him, you bring him to me alone. Do you know what I mean? Me. Don't tell anybody else, just me. And Alicent said it the same as well to Sir Criston. You go out there, you go with, you know, Prince Aemond, and you go and you find him, and when you get him, you bring him to me, not my dad, to me. And they've gone in search, and obviously they found him, but they've had a scrap, and then obviously they've managed to take him. But the interesting thing is, you know, that woman was actually sitting down and she was having a conversation with Sir Otto, and she was saying, look, mate, I'll take you to the prince, I'll show you where he is, but on one condition, that I, you know, shown you and fed you this information, and I want the cruelty and the use of children fighting here to be, you know, stopped. I actually don't think that was a bad proposal. I actually thought it was very interesting as well that we looked at a little boy sat in the pit. He was chained up and he had blonde hair, proper blonde hair, and he kind of insinuated that that was an offspring of Prince Aegon, King Aegon now, which again is exciting because he didn't say he's just one. He was like, me, I'm sure there's many offsprings here. So imagine if he's got loads of kids dotted around, because like I said, he's unpredictable, he's a bit of a wild one, don't literally care about his marriage or anything like that. Is his wife even on that stage? You know what I mean? Like, do you remember when Alison went over to him and slapped him and said, you know, embarrassment to your wife, embarrassment to the family, you know, son of mine. Do you know what I mean? That's why today he was like, do you love me? She was like, mate, you imbecile, of course I do. That's literally what she said. But again, it was interesting that somebody was trying to flee and obviously give word to Rhaenyra what was happening. He managed to get caught, and obviously he was hung, wasn't he? He was killed. Now, again, like I said, interestingly, this ceremony here that was going on, all of these people, you know, she wasn't even there. I don't even know if she's aware of it. Next episode will actually be really interesting. You know, I wonder if Rhaenys, I keep saying her name wrong, Rhaenys was going to take the dragon and fly over to Daemon and Rhaenyra and actually tell her what's just actually happened. And maybe, like I say, a battle could break out. But, you know, Rhaenyra, I don't know if she could challenge it or not now. They've actually just gone with it and they've done it. And they've crowned Aegon, where she's obviously the person that everybody backed and everybody desired and everybody knew was going to take it. So what actual authority, right, does she actually have now? Can she do anything now somebody else is king? Do you know what I mean? When the, like, crown was vacant, maybe she had power to actually stop it and stake a claim and say that I am the true, you know, heir to the throne. this is mine. But now it's actually been handed over to Aegon and the ceremonies took place and he's been crowned. Has she got any authority at all? Do you know what I mean? It's going to be exciting to see. But again, like I said, mate, Ser Otto wants to kill Rhaenyra and Daemon, and Alicent doesn't want to be a murderer, and she doesn't want that to actually happen, and she believes that Viserys wouldn't want her daughter, you know, his daughter to be killed in cold blood as well. He's flipped it and said, are you sure? Or is it that you just don't want her to die because you're all childhood friends? And again, you know, it seems like they're going to be clashing heads. She said, look, mate, I've made my decision. Rhaenyra, we're going to write to her. We're going to tell her what's happening. We're not going to kill her. We're not going to attack her. It's going to be, you know, like her choice how she wants to proceed. And she left. And Ser Otto actually said to himself, mate, if that's what you please, that's what you please. But pretty much like game on, I'm going to do it my way. Again, it's going to be really interesting. Can't wait to see how her and her dad butt heads, and obviously how Rhaenyra reacts to this information, and Daemon as well, if he obviously takes it. And if you look at Aemond as well, mate, he didn't seem too happy that his brother was king as well. So again, it's going to be exciting, because if he goes over and kills his brother, technically, do you know what I mean? He could poison him, he could do something, he can make it look like somebody's attacked him. He's next in line. Boom. Put the crown on him. So, again, mate, endless possibilities, and I can't wait, obviously, to see what the finale has in store for us. So, that's checking out today's episode. If you did enjoy it, please smash the like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.